Buenas tardes. Vamos a empezar una partida de disco ELYSIUM. La empecé hace un par de semanas, pero bueno, ahora que me lo conozco un poco mejor, voy a intentar subirla para que podáis disfrutar de la partida, ¿vale? A ver si os gusta. Disco ELYSIUM. Vale. Intelectual, emocional, bruto o personalizado. Vamos a intentar que esté equilibrado. Vamos a equilibrarlo. Ok. Vale, y una habilidad principal. Lógica. Manipulación instinto. Percepción, reacción. Conectividad. Un poco de manipulación, ¿no? Podría estar bien. De dolor. No sabría decir. Vamos a elegir... Venga, manipulación. Ya está. Vale. ¿Se oye bien? Ok. Las furias habitan en el espejo. Es su morada. Pues hasta el agua más clara, si es lo bastante profunda, puede ahogar. Vamos
There
allá.
is nothing. Only warm primordial blackness. Your conscious ferments in it. No larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever.
No existe nada, tan solo una negrura primordial y cálida.
Never, ever.
Nunca jamás de los jamases.
Never, ever, ever, baby. An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it.
Contenido libre de exmujeres.
Yes, it is.
An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies hidden in your dead angle, soaking in some lurid acidic sauce. It's bloated and shameful. A ball of meat surrounding you. This is a terrible line of questioning, and it will only lead to more awareness of the meat thing.
Vale. Volver a sumergirme. No, quiero saber lo de la ex, lo que sea.
Ex-love, ex-tenderness. It is foolish of you to resurface to the loss. Not after all the damage you've suffered to get here. Some of it irreversible. Stay. Sail with me through the abyss of Pelagic Zone.
No, quiero bajarme ya. Me gusta el dolor, la luz
Do you
ardiente.
really?
Sí, deja de
You
bajar.
wouldn't like it if I told you what was back there. Why'd you think you had to bludgeon yourself into oblivion? Or did you not sense yourself marinating? Poured so much on yourself. Got a bit carried away, did we, Chef?
¿Por qué crees que te machacaste hasta olvidarlo todo?
Fear and apprehension. You should ask what's out there first.
Y si no es que yo me he hecho esto, dime, ¿qué es lo que me espera? Y si no es que yo me he hecho esto,
Yes, your one disco mother.
¿qué es lo que me espera?
There's this giant ball there. And evil apes. And evil apes are juking it out on the ball. You're one of them. It's basically all just evil apes juking it out on a giant ball.
¿Cómo de grande es la
Can't
pelota?
even make out it's a ball when you're joking it out. It's that large.
Son muy pequeños los simios.
Infinitesimally small. Vying for resources is just a stupid expression you picked up somewhere. The part of the presentation you want to take home with you is this. You have
que
to
para tener
beat
la
the
boca.
other evil apes in the face. Or you
Parece que tiene su punto. Vamos allá.
Somewhere in the sore, bloated man-meat around you. A sensation. Like a fly to the ointment, your conscience sticks to it. The limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is firing up again. It wants to walk the desert, hurting, longing, dancing to disco music.
Madre, ayúdame. Tengo una cabeza pegada al cuerpo y estoy en ella. No, por favor, he cambiado de idea.
The stench of liquor rises from your mouth, and with it, an ungodly headache.
Está muy bien doblado, ¿eh? ¿Quién soy? ¿Qué clase de criatura le haría algo así a su
A
propia boca?
fiery streak penetrates your skull, trying to force your eyes open. It's a sound, a clarion call from hell.
Vale. Vamos allá. Ese soy yo. En estado lamentable. Vale. Como una resaca de cojones. Pantalón. Vamos.
You hear a jingle.
Hay unas
Keys
llaves en
are
el
clinking
bolsillo.
in the pocket of your flare-cut pants. It says "whirling in rags" on the aluminium keyring. There is a single key on the ring. The number 1 is etched on it. It should open the door.
Ok. Una botella, nada vacía. La cinta. Un estuche de cinta vacío. Este estuche solía contener una cinta, pero fue destruida en un ataque de ira. Según la etiqueta, la canción fue grabada en el año 43. Parece que alguien arrancó la cinta mientras se reproducía la canción. Un papato. El magnetófono está encendido, pero no tiene cinta. Hostia. ¿Cómo va? Vale.
This fan has two
Ventilador.
changeable switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades.
Vale. Este ventilador tiene dos cadenas a modo de interruptores. Una para accionarlo y la otra para encender una bombilla. Y hay una corbata. Accionamos el ventilador. La bombilla.
A terrible mistake. Turn the lights off immediately. You can practically the lights
Vale,
are
apagamos.
off.
42% de posibilidades de coger la corbata. Venga, vamos a intentarlo. Sabor a fer. ¿Puedo mejorar el sabor a fer este? No. Lo tengo en... Hostia, en 2. Ventaja por objetos -1. Tengo algo que me quite el sabor a fer. Vale. A ver qué es. A ver si es la ropa. Tengo algo que me quita el... Vale, el pantalón me quita -1 a sabor a fer. Así que nos lo quitamos. Y ahora debería de ser más fácil coger la
This
corbata.
fan has two changeable switches.
58.
One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb.
Vale, vamos a
A
intentarlo.
truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades.
58%.
You reach out to grab the tie.
Fallado.
But what's this? Diffuse radiating chest pain. This is bad. Feels like sharp stones grinding in your chest and keeping you from moving.
Es horrible, como si te restregaran piedras afiladas por el pecho. Voy a tener un infarto,
For quite a long time, still ongoing. Now, finally, the pressure recedes. You find yourself covered in cold sweat and trying not to move,
Vale.
hoping it will keep
Si
you
me ha
from
bloqueado,
dying.
coge la corbata. Y se cierra el
The
ventilador.
blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now.
Joder, tenía que haber parado antes eso. Vale. Vale,
You
cogemos la
swoop up
corbata.
and catch the tie. Snap. It's released from the blade.
Hay que intentar siempre que suba el porcentaje para poder conseguir las cosas.
What
Vale,
you have in your
sacamos la
hand
corbata.
is a truly hideous necktie.
Tenemos el pantalón. Y la corbata que me da +1 de mundo interior. No sabes por qué, pero sientes que sería un error llegar a quitártela. Es tu amiga y se sentiría traicionada si la cambiaras por una bufanda aburrida. Vale. Y el pantalón me da electroquímica y me quita sabor. Vale. La ponemos. Vale. Más cosas. Una chaqueta. La blazer. ¿Esto qué me da? La chaqueta. Split the corpse. Da la sensación de que hayan estampado esta chaqueta con la piel de algún animal discotequero extinto hace mucho tiempo. Vale. A ver, vamos a entrar. Voy a tener un dolor de cabeza. No. Fallado. Coño. Qué mal se maneja, joder. Ahora. Hay varias botellas en la bañera. Una camisa. Vale, camisa. Un espejo, una puerta. camisa. Más uno de abstracción. Solía ser elegante. Solía captar la luz. Ahora huele como si alguien se hubiera hecho pis en las axilas. Vale. Menos 1 de manipulación por su olor. Pues igual me la quito, ¿no? Vale. Espejo. A ver qué se
A
ve.
mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet off. Hot water sprays from the base, and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself, just the outline of a man.
Vale.
Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor.
¿En serio?
Really, all recollection of the person you are, the people in your life, and even the world you're in has drowned in a sea of blood alcohol. This was no mere night of drinking. It was a deluge of world-ending proportions.
O sea, que ha perdido los recuerdos. No se acuerda ni de él.
As
Desempeñar.
you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort. You clearly have not
Aborta.
thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it.
Primero debería palpar.
Yeah, there is definitely something wrong with it.
No será para
Where to
tanto, ¿no?
even begin? There is the bloatedness, then the swollenness. It's like there's an upholstery of alcohol underneath your skin.
Seguro que no es para tanto. Tocarte la nariz.
It's not. Your nose feels like a small balloon in the middle of your face. It hurts when you honk it. It doesn't appear to be a particularly tiny nose either. Not with all the drinks it's absorbed for you.
Por lo menos mi lengua está bien.
It's not. It's swollen and snail-like, wriggling between your fingers.
Tengo miedo, quiero
Don't
parar.
be scared. It's only your face. It's not like anyone's going to see it.
Vale, desempañar el espejo.
Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you?
Una
It
superestrella.
appears you're also dead. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Oh wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why?
Una expresión.
Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself.
Esto es lo que hacen las
You can't,
superestrellas.
can you? It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face, and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey?
Qué emoción. Creo que se supone que es sugerente. Mucho me temo que es una cara dedicada a las
Please
damas.
promise yourself you are not going to try it on any of the ladies, whatever happens.
Lo prometo,
lie.
mentir.
You can't even tell the truth to yourself. Go ahead. Try something.
Uf, electroquímica bajísima. Intentar detener la expresión, no puedo. La enciclopedia. Muy baja, tío. Rastrear la fuente de la expresión. Vale, vamos a cogerlo. Esto por un zapato. Vale, un zapato. Vale, no tengo ni tareas ni... Ah, mira. Enciclopedia. Estas son las tiradas de habilidades básicas que has encontrado. Las que están en blanco se pueden reintentar. Enciclopedia formidable. El espejo roto.
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in.
Visión espacial fácil. Vamos a mirar fuera
The
primero.
morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings.
Vale. Visión espacial. No puedo mejorarla, ¿no? Pulsando 72. Ah,
The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside.
la rompí con las manos.
A
Mirártelas.
fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, but none of it is recent.
¿Qué provocó esto?
More likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after impact.
Vale. Algún proyectil, pero no un objeto contundente. Evaluar la magnitud
It
del
is
impacto.
too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. You're looking for something heavy and larger than your fist. The single green shoe you found fits the hole almost as well as your foot. It would have also been heavy enough if thrown with force. Congratulations. You smashed the window with your own shoe. Now you only have one. If you're lucky, you could still find the other one on the balcony outside. The door to it should be outside your room.
A lo
You
mejor no fui
mean
yo.
someone else took your shoe off and smashed the window with it?
Debería salir a coger
Cool
el zapato.
wind gushes in. Your toes curl up from the cold.
Vale. He ganado experiencia y una nueva misión. A ver. Encuentra tu otro zapato. Vale. Debería buscarlo antes de aventurarte más en tierras inhóspitas. Ya sabes, 2 zapatos van mejor que uno. Vale. Hostia, necesito algo para la borrachera. Vale. Ya no voy agarrándome. Bueno. Este dinero. Hay algo en la mesa. Cógelo. 0,40. 0,40 reales. Vamos a intentar ir haciendo todas las misiones que nos vayan surgiendo. En vez de coger, como hice la otra vez, cogerlas todas del tirón y luego tener infinitas misiones. Vamos a ir haciéndolas poco a poco. El olor de la brisa hambrienta te provoca náuseas. Ahí está el zapato. Te envuelve una ráfaga de aire salobre. Salobre. Zapato. Ok, lo tengo.
There they both are. Two identical
Las 10 por
shoes,
hacer la tarea.
both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin, reunited on your feet.
¿Cómo me quedo?
Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told.
Vale. Tengo los zapatos. ¿Qué he cogido? Bueno, he hecho una completada, vale. Encuentra tu otro zapato. Vale, eso. vecindario.
Hello, officer.
Estamos en marzo del año 51. A ver esta chica.
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips.
Bailarina disco.
Her eyes are brown and her face is speckled with birthmarks. She can't be more than 28.
Agente, soy militar.
No.
Agente inmobiliario. Antes, ¿por qué me has llamado
Because
agente?
you're a police officer, sir.
¿Estás
I
segura?
am, yes. Unless you've been feeding us a set of very well-rehearsed lies all this time.
Todo este tiempo.
You've been here for 3 days. On official police business, no less. I couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking.
3 días viviendo. ¿Por qué no recuerdo ser policía ni cualquier otra cosa? ¿Quién en su sano juicio me permitiría ser agente de la ley? Probar la expresión. Debería marcharme. ¿Por qué no recuerdo ser policía ni cualquier
Could
otra
it
cosa?
be because of the drinking?
No puedo subir la manipulación, ¿no?
Of course.
Un segundito.
Be careful, officer. They don't like the police around here.
Tenga cuidado, gente, por aquí no me gusta mucho la policía.
Something stirs in you as she's about to go. Call it an instinct, a need. The need to ask questions. It's like you've said the words a million times before. She looks back at you, a light glinting off her eyes.
¿Qué pasa si no te hace hacer preguntas? Antes de que te vayas, tengo unas preguntas para ti.
Yes.
¿Qué es lo que tienen por aquí en contra de la policía? ¿Dónde es aquí? Estamos en el año 51. Tu habitación está casi pegada a la mía. ¿Escuchaste
There
algo
was the
anoche?
usual ruckus. Loud disco music.
¿Tuve visita?
I couldn't say. It's impossible to hear people speaking from over here.
Música disco muy
Oh,
alta.
yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestration prime among them. Oh, were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course. Like 7.
Ostentatious
Life gets hard, but we
orchestrations.
go on.
Vale.
I don't know about that. At around 2 o'clock, disco stopped. A slow, sad song started playing. Like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of the time you were yelling along to it.
Estuve cantando esto.
Yes, there was a church in there. A
Algo sobre una
really small
iglesia.
church. Like the smallest, saddest church in the whole world. It was about that. And also
¿Qué
that
más?
it doesn't matter anymore and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a winded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it.
¿Y qué pasó
Then you
luego?
started screaming and trashed the place.
¿Estás seguro de que no me estaban atacando?
No, it didn't sound like there was a fight. It sounded like someone was trashing their room. A window was smashed. The tape player, probably. The song stopped. And furniture, too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out.
Dime que no hubo nada más.
There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then, around 4 or 5. And that was it.
¿Dónde es aquí exactamente? ¿Dónde
You're
estoy?
in a hostel, sir.
No, ¿dónde estamos? ¿Dónde en el mundo?
We are in Revachol.
Revachol.
Revachol is the disgraced former capital of the world, divided into zones of control under foreign occupation. Half a century after a failed world revolution, she is central to our moment in time.
¿Qué tal si me cuentas algo
Yeah.
más?
Those words, tell me something else, feel like something you've said innumerable times before. Your mouth is the very shape of them.
¿Qué es lo que tienen por aquí en
The
contra de la
dock
policía?
workers are pretty cocky. They think they're police enough. At least here on the coast. I can't say about the rest of the city.
Estamos en el año
It's
51.
51. The
Sí.
current century?
¿Cuál es? ¿Qué número?
Centuries don't have numbers. They have names.
En el siglo
And this
actual.
is the current one.
Entonces, ¿cuántos siglos han pasado?
Civilization has existed for 8,000 years, sir.
¿Qué es tan
You're right.
gracioso?
There is nothing funny about civilization.
Ok,
Glad to have been of assistance.
bueno. Vale. Un segundito. Vale, no tengo tareas. Y tengo un -2 en savoir-faire. Extracción, manipulación. Me quito los zapatos, tío. ¿Qué hago? ¿Voy sin zapatos, tío? Con el savoir-faire, escabullete delante de sus narices, atúrdelos con inmenso garro. Este sube la compostura. Me pongo el pantalón. Me pongo el pantalón y voy descalzo, yo creo. Se ha dejado una recacolía en el cenicero.
You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit out of it.
Soy
Who
fumador.
knows what you are? A monster, a murderer, the gnome of Jeroma? You feel like a smoker, especially when you look at that juicy, succulent, seductive cigarette stub, still smoldering deliciously.
Pero la he roto por el filtro, no puedo
How
fumármela.
very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, an entire pack. Strike that. A carton. Make sure they're all healthy and able-bodied. Then smoke them all.
Debería hacerlo. Con gran entusiasmo. No, no debería.
Good. They'll make you stronger and better. You're too old to be cool now. But find cigarettes, smoke them, blam. Instantly a cool renegade man. A mystical red dragon with smoke rising from his nostrils. Plus, smoking them gives massive bonuses.
Potentes bonificaciones. Vale. A ver. Vale, fúmate unos pitillos. Para sacarle provecho a esas jugosas ventajas tendrás que fumar un poco de tabaco. Hazte con un paquete y póntelo en la mano. Vale. estaba la chica. Trump, Le Monde. Nada más no. Vale. Bajamos. La mayoría de la gente se va a la cama no mucho más tarde de las 9. A las 2 de la madrugada todos estarán durmiendo. Vale. Vale, y hoy es lunes. Vale. La puerta de verano permanecerá cerrada durante el invierno. Es el atril para la letra. Un gran micrófono de karaoke, a la espera de que alguien se arranque a cantar. ¿No puedo subir? No. El altavoz está conectado a la radio. La estética acompaña a la música.
You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul.
Mi alma es inmensa.
And it needs to be heard. Through a PA system. By other people.
Esto cuadra con una teoría que estoy desarrollando, que soy una superestrella caída en desgracia. ¿Qué debería cantar si se diera el
You
caso?
should sing the sad small church song from that tape you found. Thought it was obvious.
Pues claro, con esa atisbará en la profundidad de mi alma.
Serves them right. Wipe that smirk off their face with your sad, tragic, small church song. Who's laughing now? No one. You would need another copy of the tape first.
Necesitarías otra copia de la
The one
cinta.
upstairs is destroyed.
La de arriba está totalmente destrozada. Esto cuadra con una teoría que estoy desarrollando, que soy una
Who
superestrella
is
caída
mistakenly
en
identified
desgracia.
as a cop for his prominent jawline? Yes, sounds likely. You should probably go on stage and pose for a moment when you're done with this thought. See if it works.
Vamos allá. Este es tu lugar. A ver. ¿Puedo cantar? Hostia, no, la escalera no. Eso es la escalera, ¿no? ¿Tengo algún objeto? Interactuar. El estuche de cinta está vacío. Pero tengo algo ahí marcado. No sé qué es. Ahora. La hora del karaoke. Hazte con una cinta que contenga un tema tristón. Vale, necesito una cinta que contenga un tema tristón. Necesito cigarrillos. Vale. Un enfriador de agua. El menú solo tiene escrita la palabra lunes. Hablamos con este. Con el barman. A ver. Garte,
A
el
man in
gerente.
his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting a stuffed seabird. As you approach, he gives you a sideways glance, then looks down again. That was disdain in his eyes. Even now he is purposely ignoring you. Looks like he's not a fan.
Parece que no le caes bien. Mirar el ave
A
disecada.
competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coasters and drying mugs. One of its wings broken. The man is trying to mend it. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it, most likely on a wall. Something about it makes you feel bitter.
Hay algo en él que te hace sentirte dolido. ¿Te echo una mano?
Look, your buddy is over there.
Mire, su colega anda por ahí. Mira hacia las puertas donde un hombre con una cazadora naranja está repiqueteando en el suelo con el pie.
Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
¿Cómo que mi colega?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird instead.
Oh
Interior
no,
mirador.
you're a hero. A real hero cop.
Could the massive property damage upstairs have anything to do with this?
Está siendo sarcástico.
Or did you ride in, take the body down, solve the murder, and not trash my hostel room?
No me gusta tu tono. No son formas de hablar la más gente de la ley.
It's not. You're right. It's not.
Venga, nos vamos. Oye, aquí hay algo. ¿Qué es esto? Un objeto curativo. Ah, vale. Hay alguien trabajando en la cocina. La puerta está cerrada con llave. Cocina reservada para el personal hasta la 1. Vale. ¿Algo más? Estoy durmiendo. No puedo cogerla. Un hombre duerme sobre la mesa. Lleva unas botas cubiertas de barro por encima del mono. En la parte posterior de su camiseta se muestra un logotipo con un árbol en el que se lee Wild Pines.
On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine.
Hostia, coger las pastillas. Coge las pastillas.
The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is
Magnesio.
stored in the bottom left corner of the screen above your character portrait. Use magnesium to heal your morale if you have morale damage.
Vale, con el magnesio recupero la moral. Comedor reservado para los miembros del sindicato. Apertura a las 4. Vale. Una máquina de pinball. Desconectada. La
Hello,
esposa del
sweetie.
criptozoólogo. Hola, cielo.
You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting.
No hagas esperar a tu compañero. Vale. A ver, mi compañero.
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for someone. You.
Espera.
As you approach, he narrows his eyes and extends his hand in greeting. If an assault were launched on this building right now, if the windows came crashing down and the whole world descended upon you, this man would hurl himself in death's way to save you. You are sure of this, but why?
Estrechar la mano.
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Prison 57. You must be
Teniente.
from the 41st.
De otro distrito.
You realize he's waiting for your name. This is your chance to come up with a really good name for yourself. Get creative. Conceptualize.
Inventarte un nombre. $42 es poco. ¿Puedo subir la abstracción? Voy a intentarlo. Inventarte un nombre.
Concentration makes you squint your eyes. Your name should be deep gold and orange, like a forest fire looming on the horizon, but mixed with the stench of liquor rising from your breath. You're 2 steps closer to it, but there are still many to go.
La verdad es que no recuerdo el nombre.
Okay then.
procesa la información y decide
It
ignorarla.
looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the manager here?
¿Te refieres a él? Sí, acabo de
If you
hacerlo.
don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. Now that I'm here as well. I understand the scene is out back, right?
La escena del crimen está en la parte de
It
atrás.
also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews?
¿Qué
At the
interrogatorios?
57th, we like to prepare an initial list of persons of interest, and then just skim the surface. Prepare the field, get to know the players. You don't do that? Maybe it's not an inter-district practice.
Pues no.
Okay, we'll have time for that after we take a look at the coroner's case. Have you removed the dead body from the tree?
¿Ha bajado el cadáver del árbol? No.
So, the body is still in the tree.
This is the first time you detect a weariness in the lieutenant's voice. It is obvious he would have preferred for the body to no longer be in the tree.
Ya vamos, teniendo en cuenta que no recuerdo ni quién soy.
Where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner.
Pero es que no puedo
I
recordar
can
nada.
see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. But I have seen officers go through worse. Much worse. If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby.
Hay una
But
tienda
as I
cerca.
said, the dead body should be our #1 concern. Up to you, officer.
Vale. Examina el cuerpo y interroga al gerente.
If you're about to embark on an investigation, shouldn't you have a badge?
Debe tener una placa.
You mean you don't have a badge?
No la tenía conmigo.
Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I advise you to try to locate it as quickly as possible. But getting the body down should still take
Primero baja el
precedence.
cadáver.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk to him whenever by interacting with him.
Vale. El teniente se ha unido a tu grupo. ¿Qué tengo entonces? Varias. Interroga al gerente. Debería saber algo del asesinato. Examina el cuerpo de la víctima. Se trata de una inspección preliminar. Tan solo tienes que acercarte y procurar no vomitar. Y denuncia la desaparición de tu placa. Contacta cuanto antes a la comisaría del distrito 41. Utilizar la radio de su carruaje motorizado. Ok. Pues vamos a hablar con nuestro amigo. El simpático.
The man with the unimpressive beard notices you approaching. He drops the ledger he was holding and turns to the lieutenant.
Mr. Gart, right? You run this place.
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41...
No decir
Right.
nada así.
Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene. It also took you a while to call us and report the dead body. It was you who placed the call, yes?
Fue usted quien llamó, no sé si.
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you. She usually works the bar here. I'm only temporarily taking over her duties.
Debió ser Sylvie quien llamó.
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Nueva tarea. Pues de hecho sí, rebusca dentro de un montón de posavasos. Encuentra un trozo de papel y se lo entrega al teniente.
You said you just got here. From where? Are you a local?
What, of Martinez? No. I live in Jamrock. I only sometimes come here to keep an eye on the place. This is just one of the many, many cafeterias I manage.
But you still know your way around, yes? In case we need directions.
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here. I just used to work here. And I'm not going to start working here again, if that's what you think.
No, no tengo intención de volver a hacerlo. Solía trabajar aquí.
I didn't imply that. Detective.
¿Sí?
I have everything. You?
No, estoy bien.
The body was behind the building, right? How do we get there?
¿Cómo llegamos ahí?
Behind this building, there's a courtyard. They hoisted him up on a tree there.
Lo colgaron ahí en un árbol.
And how do we get there?
See that door there? Go out and turn right. There's a big hole in the fence. No need for a key. Just go through that hole and you'll be in the courtyard.
Let's go.
Vale, tarea completada.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real.
130 reales. Escabullirte sin ser visto. Ah, no puedo, qué putada.
Oh, excuse me. You owe me 130 real.
The IIR, or Inter-Isolary Real, is the global reserve currency. Whatever part of the world you're in right now, it's safe to assume he means you owe him some money.
Entiendo, quieres decir que te debo dinero.
Wow, you're a genius. Yes, that's right, money. You owe this establishment 130 real.
¿Cuándo te debo?
Let's see. 3 nights at a tariff of 20 real comes to 60 real. Then there's the window you annihilated. The hole in the window was the first thing I saw when I came to work. So don't try to tell me you didn't. That will be 40 real in damages. Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. Actually more, but we'll round it down to 30 for your hard work maintaining the stability and order of Revachol. That's 60 plus 40 plus 30 equals 130 real. And yes, real is still money.
Vale, pero ¿qué es dinero exactamente?
What are you, a philosopher?
No, tan solo estoy poniendo mis cosas en
Money
orden.
is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room, or 8 bottles of potent blend, and 9 packs of Royal Extra. We use it for everything, really.
Interesante. ¿De dónde lo
Are
saco?
you serious? From your work? I don't know. You can take bribes, I guess. I'm sorry.
Sobornos.
I don't think cops can take bribes.
Some do take recompense, but only to survive.
Vale. Vale. Necesitamos
There's
dinero
a
también,
shuffle
tío.
of nylon as Lieutenant. That's cop 4. I haven't offered to pay because I don't have any money either.
Quedas detenido, es que no quiero enfadarle.
I'm sorry, but he has to pay. I can't let him stay here any longer if he doesn't. If he doesn't have the money by tonight, then...
Ok.
Officer, maybe you're better off working this from home for now. You live in Jamrock, right? It's not that far away.
¿No hay otro sitio en el que pueda quedarme? Este sitio por el culo. Veré qué
I'm
puedo hacer.
sorry I couldn't help more. You should take this up with your station. I have a shortwave radio in my car, okay? We have to get this investigation started now.
Good luck.
Ok.
By the way, where is home?
¿Dónde
The
vives?
address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it.
¿Acaso tengo donde
But
vivir?
you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere.
¿Dónde estuviste antes? ¿En alguna parte? Muy lejos.
In time or space?
¿En el tiempo o en el espacio?
That doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time. Maybe a street
Dar unas vueltas a
or an
algunas direcciones en tu cabeza
apartment
cuando
will
tengas un rato. Está totalmente pirado este tío. Vale, vamos a poner esa. Vale, el lago solitario camino de casa. Todo esto son como investigaciones que tiene que ir haciendo. Hostia. Y una vez que las completas, te suben las habilidades. Vale, voy a poner esta en marcha. Me da +1 de enciclopedia. Y la duración dura 6 horas. No sé. Espero que no sean horas reales. Vale. A ver si puedo hablar ya con esta mujer.
Hello again, sweetie. I see you've met up with your colleague.
The lieutenant nods politely. Wait, who's Sweetie?
¿Quién es Cielito?
Why, you are, officer.
No soy ningún cielito,
You're
mira.
a handsome man, officer, with your mustache and your chiseled jaw and that silly dimple on your chin.
Ese estúpido no me ha traído más que sufrimiento. Gracias,
You
Alberto.
must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew.
Contrata.
Hire her on the spot.
Lena está lo bastante chalada para tu variopinto grupo. Contrátala ahora mismo. ¿Le gustaría venir conmigo? No sé si se ha dado cuenta, pero no sé ni quién soy, ni dónde estoy, ni qué estoy haciendo.
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad.
She won't judge you, no matter what you say.
Bebí tanto que lo he olvidado todo, literalmente. Espero que tengas razón, espero que no sea para
You
tanto.
know where we are, right?
Una zona de guerra. Estamos muertos, atormentándonos los unos a los otros. Estamos en
That's
revancha.
right. In a hostel called the Whirling in Rags, to be precise.
La verdad es que no sé nada sobre
How
Rebasol.
would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're fortunate to be here, you and I. I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revachol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days. Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes?
Estamos en la primavera del 51.
That's right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen. Knowledge should
Yeah,
always
bolígrafo.
be rewarded.
Her relief is palpable. She was getting pretty worried about you there, but now she relaxes her shoulders.
O sea que si hablo con gente y me entero de cosas, con eso voy a poder contestar mejor, ¿no?
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
La dictadura del proletariado. ¿Hay más? No. ¿Qué tipo de gobierno? Bajo un régimen policial.
Nope. Sadly not. Revachol is what's called a zone of control, under an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have no government of our own, and what democracy we have is market-driven.
Si no hay gobierno, ¿cómo es que hay policías?
Oh dear. And you were doing so well. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
Vale, eso que me he equivocado. Contestando. ¿Qué es esta revolución que ha mencionado?
A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago.
¿Qué tiene que ver eso con que no hay
It
policías?
has something to do with everything. I really don't know how to explain it better.
¿Quién podría contarme más?
Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask.
El teniente.
I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez.
Vale.
Of course, dear.
Vale.
Good luck with your case.
Ok. Tengo un objeto que hace el boli. Parece estar meditando. ¿Qué hago? ¿Me lo pongo? No puedo cogerlo. No puedo cogerlo. Ay. ¿Quién denuncia el crimen? ¿Quién denunció el crimen? Ponte en contacto con Silvia utilizando la radio de King y pregúntale si fue ella quien hizo la llamada. Vale. Paga el estropicio. Contacta con tu comisaría para pedir ingresos adicionales. Vale. Obtengo una visión general de la realidad. Léete animado a que preguntes a la gente para que te expliquen cómo funciona el mundo con todo lujo de detalles. Que te deberías preguntarle a un rico. Los ricos son gente muy preparada. ¿Y esto cómo va? Un 3%. Vale. Bueno, chicos. Pues vamos a... ¿A dónde podemos ir? Y lo tengo todo, ¿no? Vamos a intentar hablar con él.
Yes?
¿Por qué me sigues?
What do
Háblame
you
del
want to
caso.
know?
Cualquier cosa, no soy capaz de recordar
Maybe you
nada.
can tell me what you do know to help me narrow it down a bit.
Tan solo sé lo que me
Do
contaste
you want me
antes.
to brief you?
Sí, infórmame.
3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate.
Guardia de seguridad.
During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
El informe dice quién era la víctima, porque no sabemos nada del autor de la llamada.
They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
¿Por qué esconderse?
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
Vale. La MCR. Un momento, la MCR
That
es...
says, the Revachol Citizens Militia. We're the police in this city.
La policía de esta ciudad.
The RCM, or the Revachol Citizen Militia, is the police force you and him are part of. A self-organized peace corps of the occupied city of Revachol. The RCM operates within a legal twilight, yet its authority is rarely questioned. It's super useful to know this.
Vale, nuestro trabajo consiste en encontrar al asesino.
That's right.
Tarea secreta. ¿Dirías que este caso es misterioso?
No, it's not a particularly mysterious case.
¿Por
The
qué no?
deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
Algo paranormal. Vale. Hombre blanco, 40 y tantos. ¿Qué más necesitas?
I'm relieved that you agree. Anyhow, let's get back to the case. Was there anything else you wanted to know?
¿Por qué trabajamos juntos y pertenecemos a
I'm
distritos
afraid you
diferentes?
and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
Competición de meadas.
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. It's
También.
just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any
Concurso de
more time
meadas.
on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim.
No es más que una estupidez. Deberíamos dejar de perder el tiempo en el tema.
Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you again? There's no reason to wing anything. If you didn't get the brief, that's okay. 3 days ago, the RCM emerged. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching.
El informe dice
There
quién
is
era la
a
víctima.
security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. They didn't identify them. There's a
Vale.
strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is
Ahora
the
entiendo
de
todo.
facto. But just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest
Vale.
the killer.
Tenemos todo.
Good.
Creo que debería saber que no soy capaz de recordar
No
nada.
response. He just arches his brow.
Una gran cantidad de alcohol tiene
Have
la
you
culpa.
tried concentrating on something other than your
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
Pero ni siquiera tengo la información más básica de la organización a la que le pertenecemos. ¿Puedes ayudarme?
Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation.
Yeah.
Focus on other people's troubles, not your own. That is a relief.
A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch on his wrist.
Joder, ¿me deja hablar del caso otra vez?
What do you want to know? You mean like a brief? 3 days ago, during that, a security guard or worker of some sort. They didn't identify. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the
Sigo sin entender
well,
nada.
we are police officers. It is our job to... Good.
Vale. Ok, chicos. Hasta aquí. Concurso de meadas. Vale. Para terminar. Vale. Y el informe a partir de las 10. Me detengo. Ya empezamos, ¿eh? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 misiones ya. Gracias por todo. Bueno, chicos, mañana más. Gracias.